meeting for the 31st. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the resumption of the meeting for the 31st online meeting of the ICT PAC today, 16th of June 2026. We would like to inform everyone pursuant to promote transparency and pursuant to Section 38 of RA 12009. The copy of this recording will be uploaded on the DICT's official YouTube channel. Please do visit Department of ICT Philippines in YouTube likewise. Please be reminded that this meeting is being recorded for documentation purposes and that today's meeting is currently live on our DICT official YouTube channel. To check and to confirm if we still have a quorum for the second agenda, the BAC Secretariat will do another roll call of the DICT BAC members for this afternoon session. Present here in the meeting room, starting with our provisional member, Attorney Andrea N. Aquino. Good afternoon, Attorney Andrea.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, everyone.
Next on our list is our Vice Chairperson, Director Carla Paolo Shaw. Good afternoon, Director Carla. And this meeting is being presided by our City Bank Chairperson, Assistant Secretary Vincent Manuel Escaudan, and that the Bank Secretariat confirms the presence of a quorum for this afternoon's meeting.
Let's resume. Okay, Backsec, let's resume the meeting, and please proceed with the reminding the members of the agenda for today. Thank you. Remaining agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Presented on the screen are the two remaining agenda for this afternoon. The second agenda is the provision for internet connectivity services, PICS, in state universities and colleges, SUC Mindanao, and the approved budget for the contract is 14,559,093. And the chairperson for this, and the end user for this project is Director Edgar M. Navarro. And the last, or the third agenda, is the procurement conference for the supply and delivery of ICT equipment and tools for the National Broadband Program, or NBP. The ABC for this project is 41,810,152, and the end user for this project is Attorney Flor A.S. Devon. Mr. Chair, for the information of the bank members, our provisional member and user, Director Edgar Navarro, stated that he'll try to catch them up on our meeting, and that Ms. Mara and Sir Byrne from the end user will answer the question or inquiries relative to the PREBID. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. End user, you can now proceed.
Mr. Chair, considering that the agenda was already approved during the first agenda, may we request your permission to admit all the representatives, prospective bidders, and the participants to join this PREBID conference. We have 5 prospective bidders.
Go ahead, admit them back. Admit them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have 5 prospective bidders who were registered for the PREBID conference for today, namely SMS Global Technologies Inc., Revelev Solutions Inc., Data Lake Philippines, Data Lake Inc., and We Are IT Philippines.
Go ahead, Bak.
With your permission, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Backsec.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Likewise, we would also like to acknowledge the presence of the technical working group. Mr. Chair, with your permission, please, we will now proceed to the presentation of the investment of this project. Prepared by our back secretariat, may we call on the project handler for this project is Mr. Adrian Dale. On Dale, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning po, everyone. Once again, welcome to the Back One pre-bid conference today. Now the DICT invites the project. The project name is Provision of Internet Connectivity Services, PICS in State Universities and Colleges, Mindanao, with the ABC of 14,559,093 pesos. The bid reference number is DICT BAC-2026-039. For the project details, the invitation to bid for the project was posted on June 10, 2026 on the following: PhilJob's website, the ICT website and Facebook page, the ICT Electronic Bulletin Board. The invitation to observers for the pre-bid conference were sent on June shall be deemed to have verified and accepted the general requirements for this project, including other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution or implementation of the contract, project, or work, and examine all instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bid documents. For corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, and coercive practices, the procuring entity as well as the bidders and suppliers shall observe the highest standards of ethics during the procurement and execution of the contract. They or through an agent shall not engage in corrupt, fraudulent, and collusive, coercive, and obstructive practices defined under RA 12009 or other integrity violations in competing for the project. For the of interest, the bidders found conflicting interest shall be disqualified to participate in the project at hand without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. All bidding documents shall be accompanied by an omnibus word statement of the bidder that is not related or consanguinity or affinity up to the third level of the whole procurement agent if engaged, the head of the project management office, PMO, the end user or implementing unit, or any other members of the Business Awards Committee, Technical Working Group, and back secretariat. The bidder shall also disclose the ultimate beneficial ownership of an entity. Failure to comply shall be ground for the automatic disqualification of the bid in consonance with Section 59 of the IRR. For eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially callable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership limited to those allowed under the rules may participate in this project. Hello po. Visible na po ba yung screen? Okay. Okay po. We will ulitin ko na ulit. So for the project details, the invitation to bid for the project was posted on June 10, 2025 on the following MPhilJEP website, the ICT website and Facebook page, the ICT Electronic Bulletin Board. The invitation to observers for the private conference were sent on June 11 and 17, 2026 to the following: Commission on Audit, Chief Information Officers Forum Foundation Incorporated, Institute of Electronics Engineers of the Philippines Incorporated, Philippine Computer Society, and the SBB was issued on June 17, 2025 to advise the changes of the scheduled activities. The provisional member and user representative for the ICT project is Director Edgar M. Navarro. The prospective bidders which registered for today's private conference are the following: Data Lake Incorporated, Revolve Solutions Incorporated, SMS Global Technologies Incorporated, TP-Link Philippines, PRIT Philippines Incorporated. For the point of discussion, we have the following: project details, house rules, schedule of activities, instruction to bidders, checklist of technical and financial documents, 2 envelope system and proper sealing and markings, bid data sheet, technical specifications, form, post-qualification documents, and reminders to bidders. For the house rule, everyone is encouraged to make clarification, identify name and company before raising a question, and limit the questions to the details of the procurement at hand. For the instructions to bidders, bidding requirements, the bidding for the project shall be governed by all provisions of RA 12009. Any amendment made to the IRR and other GPPB issuances shall be applicable only to the ongoing posting and advertisement or IB by the back through the issuance of a supplemental or bid bulletin. The bidder by the act of submitting its bid shall be deemed to have verified and accepted the general requirements of this project, including other factors that may affect the cost, duration, and execution for implementation of the contract or work, and examine all the instructions, forms, terms, and project requirements in the bidding documents. For corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, and coercive practices, the procuring entity as well as the bidders and suppliers shall observe the highest standards of ethics during the procurement and execution of the contract. They or do an agent shall not engage in corrupt, fraudulent, collusive, coercive, and obstructive practices defined under 12009 or other integrity violations in competing for the project. All bidders found to have conflicting interests shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement hand without prejudice to the imposition of appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. All bidding documents shall be accompanied by omnibus sworn statement of the bidder that is not related by consanguinity or affinity up to the third level to the whole procurement agent if engaged, the head of the project management office, the end user or implementing unit, or any members of the Bids and Awards Committee, Technical Working Group, and back secretariat. The bidder shall also disclose the ultimate beneficial ownership of an equity. Failure to comply shall be ground for automatic disqualification of the bid in consonance with Section 59 of the IRR. For eligible bidders, only bids of bidders found to be legally, technically, and financially capable will be evaluated. Foreign ownership limited to those allowed under the rules by participate in this project. GOOCs may be eligible to participate only if they can establish that they are legally and financially autonomous, operate under commercial law, and are not attached agencies to the procuring entity. The bidder must have completed within the period of 5 years from the submission of the bid, unless the shorter period is indicated in the invitation to bid and BDS of the SLCC or single largest completed contract that is similar to the procurement project to be bid and whose values must be equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC, adjusted to the current prices using the Philippine Statistics Authority's consumer price indices. The bidder must submit a computation of its net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, which must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid. And for the subcontracting is not allowed. For clarifications and amendment of bidding documents, the request for clarification should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the back secretariat at back.secretariat@bict.gov.ph. The deadline for the request for clarification is on June 26, 2026 at 4 p.m. Copies of supplemental bid bulletins, if any, shall be posted in MPhilJust's website, the DICT website, DICT Facebook page, and electronic bulletin board at the DICT lobby. For language of bids, the eligibility requirements or statements, the bids and other documents to be submitted to the back must be in English. If the eligibility requirements or statements, the bids and all other documents submitted to the back are in the foreign language other than English, it must be accompanied by a translation of the document in English. For contracting parties to the Hostel Convention, the document shall be authenticated through the apostille by the competent authority as defined in Section 2.9.2 of the IRR, except for countries identified by the DFA that will require legalization or red ribbon relevant to the embassy or consulate. For technical component envelope, PICS certificate registration, platinum membership, all pages, statement of single largest completed contract, NFCC computation or committed line of credit or LOC, statement of all its ongoing and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. If applicable, JBA, or in absence of a JBA, a duly notarized statements from all potential JB partners stating that will enter into and abide by the provision of the JBA in the event that the bid is successful, the bid security in the prescribed form and amount in accordance with ITB Clause 16 and validity period under ITB Clause 15. Original copy of bid security in the form of surety bond. Submit also a certification issued by the Insurance Commission or a copy of notarized bid securing declaration. Please note that the bidders who opt to submit a bid securing declaration as a form of bid security are required to use the bid securing declaration form in the attached bidding documents. The schedule of requirements, the technical specification, which include production or delivery schedule, manpower requirements or after-sales service or parts if applicable, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement if applicable, a original notarized secretary certificate in place of a corporation, partnership, or cooperative, or original special power of authority of all members of the joint venture giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and do acts to represent the bidder, and foreign bidders claiming eligibility by reason of their country's extension of reciprocal rights to Filipinos a certification for the relevant government office of their country, stating that the Filipinos are allowed to participate in their government procurement activities for the same item or product. For financial document envelope, number 1 is original duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Number 2, original duly signed and accomplished price schedules. Number 3, certification from the DTI of the bidder claims preference as a domestic bidder or domestic entity. Next is the bid and payment currency. The payment of the contract shall be made in Philippine peso. The bid price, use the proper form of goods offered within the Philippines or goods offered from the abroad, indicating the price schedule. For the bid validity, bids shall remain valid for the period specific in the bid data sheet, which shall not exceed under 120 calendar days from the date of opening of bids. For the bid security, all bids must be accompanied by a bid security in any of acceptable forms in the amount stated in the BDS. For the format and signing of bids, bidders shall submit the bids through their duly authorized representative using the appropriate forms provided in Section 8, Philippine Bidding Document Related Forms and or before the deadline specified in the ITB Clause 19 in 2 separate sealed bid envelopes. Forms as mentioned in ITB Clause 17.1 must be completed without any alteration to their format. No substitute for form shall be accepted. Each and every page of the bid form, including the price schedule under Section 8, shall be signed by the duly authorized representative of the bidder. Failure to do so shall be ground for the reject of the bid. Any insertions, erasures, and overwriting shall be valid only if they are signed or initialed by the duly authorized representatives of the bidder. For the sealing and marking of bids, the bid must contain 2 separate envelopes, the technical component envelope and the financial component envelope. Technical and financial component envelope shall contains the following. For the technical component, we have the original copy, the duplicate copy, and the triplicate copy. Also, for the financial component envelope, must have a original copy, duplicate copy, and triplicate copy. For the front page po, it must address to the ICT from insert the name of the bidder in capital letters and address of the bidders in capital letters and the project, the provision of internet connectivity services in state universities and colleges in Mindanao. The bid reference number is the ICT BAC-2026-039 and also indicate in capital letters, indicate in praise, do not open before July 6, 2026 at 1:30 in the afternoon. Each bidder shall submit 1 original copy of the required documents. The deadline for submission of bids is on July 6, 2026 at 12 noon. The opening of bids will be on the same date at 1:30 p.m. For the bid evaluation, reminding the bidders to kindly break down the cost of taxes pursuant to Section 61.2.2 of the IRR of RA 12009 to wit, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes such as but not limited to value-added tax, income tax, local tax, and other fiscal levies and duties which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be basis for the bid evaluation and comparison. Members of the BAC, its staff and personnel secretariat, and TWG, as well the observers, are prohibited from making any accepting any communication with any bidder regarding the evaluation of their bids until the issuance of the notice of award. However, the BAC through its secretariat may ask the bidder in writing for clarification of its bid. All responses to requests for clarification shall be in writing. The manner of the opening of bids for goods shall depend on the award criterion to be adopted for this project. For LCRB, the BAC shall open the technical and financial proposals on the same day. The contract similar to the project shall be similar nature, shall be contracts pertaining to the supply, installation, configuration, commissioning, management, maintenance, and support of nationwide coverage of low Earth orbit satellite internet system, and completed within 5 years prior to the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. The bid security shall be in form of bid securing declaration for any of the following forms and amount. The amount is 727,954 pesos and 65 centavos, or the 5% of the bank guarantee irrevocable letter of credit or surety bond in the form of bid security. For the post-qualification documents, the bidder, within 5 calendar days from the receipt of notice from the bank that is submitted, the LBC, MEAB or MAB shall submit all the eligibility documents supporting its field of certificate of registration, platinum membership, its latest income and business tax returns filed in the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of bid, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by the law stated in the bid data sheet. Other additional requirements are the following: brochure or data sheet indicating technical specifications and features of the following customer premise equipped: a LEO satellite terminal, outdoor access point, indoor access point, branch router or switch, data communication box, uninterruptible power supply, power distribution unit. Next, value-added service licenses. The service provider must register with the National Telecommunications Commission a value service provider as defined by the NTC Memorandum Circular Number 02-05-2008. The certificate of registration must be valid for the documents of the contract. In lieu of this, the service provider may submit at least one of the following: certificate of public convenience and necessity. The service provider to submit a certification from NTC that certifies the service provider is authorized to operate and maintain a nationwide wired and wireless broadband network in the Philippines and to other broadband communication services and other ancillary services. Next is Tier 1 of the Internet Service Provider, ISP certification. The service provider is to submit a certification from the NTC stating that they are authorized to establish, install, operate, and maintain nationwide wired and wireless broadband network in the Philippines and other national and international broadband communication services. Next is the bidder's copy of ISO 27001 for the Information Security, Cybersecurity, and Privacy Protection Certification for joint ventures or partnership. At least a primary internet service provider or principal technology must possess the ISO 27001 certification. Next is the documentary evidence providing the bidder's status as an authorized reseller of LEO satellite system certified by the manufacturer, and list of proof of qualifications and credentials of key personnel who will be assigned to the project. This list must include at least one licensed electronics engineer and technical staff. Proof of qualifications and credentials shall be submitted consisting of a valid PRC ID for licensed professionals and or official certification of employment or engagement from employer for technical staff attesting to their relevant experience. Next, for the forms, we have the schedule of requirements, technical specification, bid form, price schedule for goods offered from abroad, price schedule for goods offered from within the Philippines, bid securing declaration, and omnibus warrant statement. So show on the screen is the form from the bidding documents for the bid form of procurement of goods. Next is the form for price schedule for goods and the format for the bid securing declaration. Next is the format for omnibus warrant statement. So all of those forms can be looked through the posted bidding documents. So next, for the schedule of requirements, the delivery schedule expressed in weeks or months indicate the required delivery date, which shall be understood as the date of goods are to be delivered in the project site. So it includes the following: the item number, the description, quantity and total, and the delivery schedule. So the description for the project is the provision of internet connectivity services in state universities and colleges, Mindanao, with a quantity and total of 1 lot, and the delivery schedule, the delivery of service and acceptance at all locations in the on the contracted lot must be completed within 30 calendar days upon receipt of the NTP. Service coverage is for 150 calendar days or until December 31, 2026, whichever comes earlier, and shall include a SLA and a warranty valid for the same duration. Next, reminders to bidders. The clock at the 19th floor, Studio 7, using the Philippine Standard Time, is the official reference time during the submission and receipt of bids. A member of a back secretariat will be assigned to receive the bidding documents at 19th floor, Studio 7 lobby, and shall stamp this as received. Bidders are reminded that entry inside the DICT premises is subject to the safety in place and processing of the payments for the bidding documents prior to the submission of the actual bid. Time presence in the DICT premises does not constitute submission on time, which shall refer to the actual handover of the bid proposal to the authorized personnel of the tax secretariat. The request for clarification should be formalized, addressed, and emailed to the back secretariat at back.secretariat@dict.gov.ph, and the deadline for the request of clarification is on June 26, 2026 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And the copies of the supplemental bid bulletin, if any, shall be posted in the MPhilJEP's website, the ICT website and Facebook page, and electronic bulletin board at the DICT lobby. Next is the common causes of ineligibility and disqualification, invalid PhilJEP certification and underlying support documents pursuant to Section 20.2.9.1 of the RIR of RA 12009. All Class A eligibility documents indicated in the Annex A of the PhilJEP's registration certificate. Platinum membership must be current, valid, and updated at the time of bid submission. The failure by the prospective bidder to update his certificate with the current and updated Class A eligibility document shall result in automatic suspension of the validity of his certificate until such time that all expired Class A eligibility documents has been updated. Thus, prospective bidders are required to update their PhilJEP certificate of registration prior to the submission of their bids. Next is the failure to attach the required supporting documents in the statement of single largest completed contract, similar to the project to be bid, the submission of unsigned documents, and submission of audited financial statement without stamp received of an BIR if an EFS was filed and paid through the electronic filing and payment system, EFPS. There is no need for the stamp receipt of the BIR. Instead, the bidder must submit their proof of EFS e-submission, including BIR's email confirmation receipt of returns document with its filing reference number and transaction code. Failure to submit the bid securing declaration in the prescribed format attached in the bidding documents. Failure to submit the bid securing declaration and omnibus warrant statement without jurat as required in the form provided in the bidding documents pursuant to the latest rules of notarial practice, and failure to indicate the compliance of technical specifications and to attach proof of compliance if applicable. Then, for submission of bids through courier service, bidders are reminded that the courier service personnel must submit the bid proposal to the personnel of the Back Secretariat Division at the office address provided. Bid submission and proposal left by the courier service personnel at the lobby guard or any other personnel or staff aside from the authorized Back Secretariat personnel will not considered submitted for purposes of bid opening. The responsibility to ensure the courier service personnel submits the bid's proposal to the authorized Back Secretariat personnel is the sole responsibility of the prospective bidder. And lastly po, we will show po the e-procurement video guidelines for bidders.
Accessing the e-procurement website. Open any web browser and go the https://eprocurement.dict.gov.ph. Click the Sign Up button. Provide a valid email address. Create a password with at least 8 alphanumeric characters, 1 uppercase, a number, and a symbol. Repeat your password for confirmation. Tick the checkbox to agree to the terms and conditions, and click Create Account button. Open the email account that you provided during registration, check your inbox, and verify your account by following the instructions in the email. Click Activate Your Account button. Go back to the e-procurement system and enter your registered email address and password. Click Login button, and you will be redirected to the onboarding page. Input your personal information and click Next button. Input your company information and click Next button. Review the information you provided and click Confirm button. Once onboarded, you will be redirected to the homepage/dashboard. Select the procurement project you wish to participate in by clicking the View Complete Details button. Select the lot you wish to participate and click Participate in Bidding button. A confirmation modal will appear. Review the details, click the Confirm button, and you will be redirected to the payment window. Select your preferred payment method from the list and click Pay Now button. Print and save the receipt as proof of payment and for reference. You may also check your email to view your receipt. Click the Go Back to Merchant button. You will be redirected to the My Transactions page, where a list of your transactions will be displayed.
That will be all po for the presentation. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Backsec.
Mr. Chair, with your permission, please, may we respectfully seek for your guidance whether to proceed with the detailed reading of the technical specification, considering that this is already posted in the pages and the SUC website, or to dispense with it, Mr. Chair.
What's the pleasure of the body? I think it would be best if we can just go straight to the questions. Is there any?
No objections, Mr. Chairman.
Hearing no objections, please proceed, Backsec.
Mr. Chair, the floor is now open. If the prospective members have questions and or clarification regarding the answer. For our participants, if you have questions that you'd like to raise, we would request to kindly use the raise hand button, and then we will call you one by one. Once called, kindly introduce yourself and mention the company that you are representing. Thank you. Mr. Chair, I'm seeing a raise hand sign from Paul Del Rosario.
Paul, you're recognized.
Good afternoon po. By the way, I'm Paul Del Rosario from Data Lake Incorporated. I'm just, have questions lang regarding the POR, pointing to 2.1.2.1.5 and 2.1.3.1.3 regarding the access point. Here that the cloud management is capable supporting remote speed tests, which refers to the access point po. As far as I concern po, regarding sa access point, the access point can only gather information about the throughput and output or the traffic of client to devices data, not feasible for the remote speed testing po. However, it can comply under the section 2.1.4.6 under support remote one speed test for the router.
End user.
may we request the response from the end user, please? Thank you.
Good afternoon po to our respective leaders and members of the BAC. To answer po this one, we will answer po via the supplemental bid bulletin. We will confirm.
Thank you, end user. I hope that's clear. Paul, wait for the supplemental bulletin to be issued. Any other concerns? Any more questions, consideration, clarification? Going once? Okay. Mr. Bernal, go ahead, sir. You're recognized.
Good afternoon, BAC team. I'm Bienvenido Bernal Dieter from SMS Global Technologies. I'd like to confirm on the SLCC requirement. It was mentioned that the requirement is for LEO satellite technology, and it is should be nationwide coverage. I'd like to confirm if we can or you can consider any satellite technology like MEOSAT or any satellite technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bernal. And you, sir, please. End user.
Again, we will call on the representative from the end user, please. Thank you.
We will answer through the supplemental bid bulletin na lang din po. So, thank you po.
Okay. Any questions, concerns? Going once? Going twice? Last call for questions, concerns, clarifications. Hearing none, BACSEC, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And for our final reminders, again, the BAC Secretariat would like to reiterate the reminders to bidders. Likewise, the BAC Secretariat would like to reiterate the request and for clarification should be formalized, address and email to the BAC Secretariat at bacsecretariat@dict.gov.ph, and that the deadline for the request for clarification is scheduled on 26 June 2026 at 4 p.m. and that copies of supplemental bid bulletins, if any, shall be posted at the PhilDep's website, the DICT website, and the bulletin board at DICT lobby. Lastly, the questions and clarification will be coordinated properly with the end user to formulate and find the final answers to the supplemental bid bulletin that will be issued. And that will be all for the BAC Secretariat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, BACSEC. Thank you, prospective bidders. If you don't have any concerns at all, if you have concerns, just email the BAC Secretariat with a given email address and time. And thank you for continuing to support the ICT. Maraming salamat. You may now be excused and we can proceed to the next agenda.
Thank you.